Scientific notation and dividing. Okay, now we have 6.5 times 10 to the 6th divided by 7.3 times 10 to the 2nd. If you remember, when we were multiplying scientific notation, we multiplied the number times the number and the power times the power. Well, in division of scientific notation, we're going to be doing the similar thing. We're going to be dividing the number by the number and the power by the power. So let's go. 6.5 divided by 7.3 is 0.89. And 10 to the 6 divided by 10 to the 2 is 10 to the 6 minus 2, which would be 10 to the 4th. And we want to write our answer in scientific notation. So 0.89 is not between 1 and 10, and it has to be between 1 and 10, so we'll put 8.9 times 10, but we have to change our exponent since we changed where our decimal was also. And since we moved our decimal one place to the right to get it between 1 and 10, we'll have to move it one place to the left to get it back where it was. When you move something to the left, it reduces the exponent. So that means we will now have 10 to the 3 because we reduced it by 1. Okay, now we have 7.9 times 10 to the 5th divided by 2.3 times 10 to the 3rd. We're going to divide the number by the number and the power by the power. So that means we're going to have 7.9 divided by 2.3, and we get 3.43 times 10 to the 5 minus 3, and 5 minus 3 is 2. And look, this time this is already between 1 and 10, so we have our answer in scientific notation, and there's no changes that we have to make. 3.7 times 10 to the 7th divided by 5.2 times 10 to the 2nd. All right, remember, number by number, power by power. So we go 3.7 divided by 5.2, and we get 0.71 times 10 to the 7 minus 2, and 7 minus 2 is 5. We got to put the 0.71 in between 1 and 10, so we move the decimal one place. And we moved it one place to the right to get it between 1 and 10. So to move it back to where it was, we will move it one place to the left. Moving it one place to the left reduces the exponent, and we moved it one time, so it reduces it by 1, so that means it's going to be 7.1 times 10 to the 4th. Okay, we have now, this one looks a little bit different. We have negative 7.1 times 10 to the 3rd over 6.3. The one on top is in scientific notation, and the one on the bottom is not in scientific notation. So the first thing we want to do is rewrite the problem so that both of them are in scientific notation. So what do we have to do to put 6.3 in scientific notation? It will be 10 to the what power? Well, did we have to move the exponent to the left? No, we left it exactly where it was, and we didn't move it to the right. So since we didn't move it to the left or the right, that means we didn't move it at all, so we put a 0 there. So now we've got both numbers in scientific notation, and we're going to go negative 7.1 divided by 6.3, and we get negative 1.12 times 10 to the 3 minus 0 gives us 3. And this time our answer is already in scientific notation because 1.12 is between 1 and 10. Now 4.2 divided by 5.5 times 10 to the 9th. Once again, we're going to need to put this in scientific notation so that we can divide it better. So 4.2 times 10. We didn't move the didn't move the decimal at all, so we're going to put a 0 here. Over 5.5 times 10 to the 9th. Now we divide the number by the number. 4.2 divided by 5.5, and we get 0.76 times 10 to the 0 minus 9 gives us negative 9. Remember, we got to put it in scientific notation, which means that the first number has to be between 1 and 10. So that means that we're going to make it 7.6 times 10 to the, I bet you're already figuring this out, but still we're going to go through the process. We moved it one place to the right. To move it back to where it was, we move it one place to the left. When you move it one place to the left, you reduce the exponent by 1. So since we're reducing negative 9 by 1, it becomes negative 10. Because remember, when you reduce a negative number, it actually gets bigger.